I was very happy because the odds of your resume being selected.
Yeah, off campus especially.
Correctly. So I was very happy. So the first thing I did was to research about the company. Whenever you prepare for any company, be specific about that company
Hmm.
because I
That's
have
very
been in
important.
multiple interviews and I've seen that few of my interviews totally over DSA and
Hmm.
few were totally on my internships and projects. So it's really important to be specific about that company and job requirements and
Correct.
to really prepare smartly.
Hi everyone. So today we have a special guest on our channel. We have Rashika. So Rashika, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Rashika Rawat. Thank you so much for inviting me, first of all. And I'm currently working as a software developer at JustPay, and I've completed my bachelor's in computer science from Army Institute of Technology, Pune. I'm so excited to be here and just wanted to share my experience with you.
Okay, awesome. So that's what Rashika is here for, to share her interview experience at JustPay. So Rashika, tell us everything about it, the rounds, the everything in details.
Yeah, sure. So it's all started around 3 months ago, just
Uh-huh.
this year.
Yeah.
I was freshly out of my college, and I had a full time offer, but due
Uh-huh.
to some reason, I had to just started to look for jobs again.
Yeah.
So I was rigorously applying for jobs, let it be full time opportunities or internships. I
Mm-hmm.
was just rigorously applying for them every day on over LinkedIn and other job applications for websites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once in the end of July, I got to know about a React role opening at React,
Mm-hmm.
and through my LinkedIn connection, one of my LinkedIn connection, I applied. I got the referral from him, and I applied. And like I said, I was rigorously applying, so I just
Mm-hmm.
applied and I forgot about it. I continued
Yeah.
applying for other applications, and I have already have my like interview schedules. I also need to prepare for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it went like this, and after 3 weeks, I suddenly got a call from the HR,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me like, okay, now your resume is selected, and she explained me everything about the hiring process.
Yeah.
For example, the number of interview I can expect, the tech stack, and also what are my expectations for the role.
Mm-hmm.
This is usually a call in an off-campus
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Setting.
especially when it's not a hiring program. Sure, because
Mm-hmm.
the HR needs to tell you everything about the role.
Yeah.
And as I asked her everything I could at that moment, I was very happy
Mm-hmm.
because the odds of your resume being selected.
Yeah, off campus especially.
Correctly. So I was very happy. So the first thing I did was to research about the company as much as
Yeah.
I can to find about the hiring process and everything. And what I found is that Jasper is a very has a very traditional or strict hiring process
Mm-hmm.
which they strictly follow.
Yeah.
So I got to know about it, and the HR also shared me an assignment link. So the
Mm-hmm.
first round was an assignment round. She shared me an assignment link and asked me to complete it in coming 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So the assignment was completely on React as I
Okay.
applied for the React
React
role.
role.
Yeah, so it was completely on React. So it was we were supposed to create a clone of a already existing web app.
Mm-hmm.
It has some very complex
Yeah.
functionalities which you have to implement, and it's totally over you how much can you implement. But there are
Mm-hmm.
some requirements which
Sure.
you're supposed to have before you submit.
Hi everyone, let me quickly pause the video to let you know of a great opportunity from Cryo. So, in case you don't know what Cryo is, then Cryo is a platform where you can upskill yourself so that you can crack the placement that you want to. So, if you want to become a software developer in your dream company, then you need to take a look at the fellowship program in software development from Cryo. So, this is a program that they have where they'll teach you everything that you need to know in order to crack your dream job at your dream company. And they have a placement guarantee along with the program, so in 9 months, they'll fully train you so that you can become the best full stack developer that any company would want to have. And they have great placement statistics. You can see that they have dream jobs of 6 to 15 LPA, and they have super dream jobs of 15 to 40 LPA. And the program is made in such a way that you learn every required skill, right from building great projects to system design to data structures and algorithms. And Cryo has a motto of learn by doing. So anytime you're learning something, you'll be working on something parallelly so that you can learn by building things yourself and so that you get real work experience instead of just mugging up theory and theory. And all of this you can get, all of these benefits you can get, and you have EMI options as well. So you can get all of this at a EMI options of just 7K per month. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that you have a free trial option available. So in case you want to take a look at the course, you want to check it out before committing to the program, then you can book a free trial. I'll give a link in the description. From there, you can check the program out, you can check the placement statistics, and you can book the free trial from there. So go click the link in the description and book your free trial now.
So there are few functionality that you need to cover. Up over it, after it, you can come add as much as you can. I will say whoever which is well rehearsed with React will definitely will be able to do it. It there are multiple ways to do different. This is the same thing,
Hmm.
but you can do it if you're very well rehearsed with React. So I did it at the third day, end of the day. I submitted it to.
Yeah.
And after a week, I got the result. Like the assignment is also
Hmm.
selected, and I'm now moved to the next
Next
round.
round.
Again, like I usually crack the assignment round, but Just Pay is like it's a
Hmm.
very
Huge one.
good opportunity for me.
Hmm.
So I was really happy. So I got the call again. The HR told me everything, but I can expect next, and she told me that I will have a hackathon round, which I definitely know as I researched
Hmm.
about the company. So I know I can expect it. So it was a hackathon round, and she told me there's going to be a part A, part B,
Hmm.
and stuff like this. So my hackathon was scheduled at the end of August.
Yeah.
So it was scheduled, and it was over a platform Slack,
Hmm.
and okay, so it was and with two interviewers. So it went for 2 days.
Oh.
So there was part A and part B. So we are all in a Google Meet,
Hmm.
and in part A, they give me a graph question.
Oh.
Uh, no, sorry, it was not a graph question. They give me a tree question, an edit tree question. Okay,
Okay.
to solve. And I was there in the meeting for the whole time, but the interviewer was going and coming. They were just trying to understand how I'm proceeding toward the solution, correcting me every time. I was coding in front of them, like my
Hmm.
screen is shared for sure, and I was coding in front of them. They're optimizing my code every time. They're
Hmm.
counter questioning me on everything. So it was a total discussion. It went for like the whole day. They're
Yeah.
coming and going, but I was in the meet for the whole time. So at the end of the day, I'm done with the part A. So now comes the part B, and in part B, they added some specific. They like the part B of the interview was the updated version of the part A question,
Oh.
in which they added some condition to make it a
Hmm.
little bit tougher. I
Hmm.
will say the first part A, the question was of medium complexity, like medium hard,
Lead code
but
level.
yeah, but the second at part B, it was harder.
Hmm.
Okay. So so we started working on it, and they like continuously discussing the
Hmm.
solution, my approach over it. They're also throwing me the hint. I have to catch it. So together we proceeded towards the solution.
Hmm.
And when they were done, so they and the interviewer ended up like rapid firing. There were some rapid
Hmm.
fire questions over React,
Yeah.
basically. There were some things he wanted to ask about everything. So okay, then it been 2 days. It was really
Hmm.
very long. So I was very tired. So what I usually do at the end of the interview, I ask for my feedback
Hmm.
in wherever, like in whatever interview I'm sitting. I asked for my feedback, and I asked him also. It was positive, but as I said, like I was not like I was not overly confident.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, it went well, good. It ended, and okay, so after 5 days, I got the call from the HR that I got selected again.
Yeah.
So this time I was really happy because the hackathon part was over, because
Hmm.
I was facing it for the first time, that kind of hackathon in any interview process. It
So
was
it's
not.
like a hackathon, but they ask DSA questions along with the React questions.
Yes, yes. I usually there was supposed to be a hackathon. I know because
Mm-hmm.
of researching about the company, but I was not very sure what they're going to ask, because this was
Mm-hmm.
not very it was not common for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't expect same question everywhere, but it went like it. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, they what my interviewer says is like you are like applying for a React role, so
Mm-hmm.
you can expect React question.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a DSA round
Hmm.
basically. But as I applied for the React role, at the
Hmm.
end or somewhere in between, I can expect React
Yeah.
question anyway.
Hmm.
I will prepare for that.
Hmm.
So after like 5 days, I got the call and she told me I've proceeded for the next round. And she's like strictly told me that there are going to be two more technical rounds,
Hmm.
and the next one is also technical. So, and she told me that you can expect anything from the interviewer.
Hmm.
Uh, he'll ask you anything. So, okay, I was like, okay, if that is the condition, I must go to like over my resume.
Yeah.
What I've written, I need to go through it.
Hmm.
Whatever I mentioned, especially React because I'm applying
Yeah.
for that. So I've started working on. I've started going on it. I studied everything I can, and at the day of my interview, it was scheduled for an hour.
Hmm.
And yes, like it started at the time, and the person who was interviewing me was very senior person in Jaspe,
Hmm.
and he was extremely knowledgeable, and I
Hmm.
can see it the
Yeah.
moment I
Yeah.
so he was extremely knowledgeable, and he asked me some questions which I wasn't expecting. Like, for
Hmm.
example, he asked me, "How would you actually? What is the purpose of thing? Like,
Hmm.
what is the purpose of even build function? What is the purpose of
Hmm.
React? Like, to answer these questions, what is the purpose of NPM? To answer these
Hmm.
questions, you need to understand things very deeply.
Indeed.
I think the purpose of interview was just to understand how deeply I
Hmm.
know things rather than just studying what's there to study
Yeah.
in Google, everything, to understand everything from deeply. So I did that, and after that, he asked me to. He again like he opened my resume and go through it and asked me questions based on my resume. I will say
Hmm.
in every interview, and just especially, I have been asked question over my resume.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is one thing that I found, and he asked me question over Monstack, over React,
Hmm.
and tried give me a problem statement to build something using Monstack
Hmm.
like that. And at the end, out of sudden, he threw some HR questions over me, and I wasn't expecting it because the HR told me it's going to be a technical round.
Technical.
But as I told you, I was preparing for other interviews already, so
Hmm. Yeah.
I knew what I need to say. But
Hmm.
to be very honest, I was really very open to him about everything. Though, like, there is a way of answering a star question, but there also need to be passionate about your answer and be true
Hmm.
about it. So I was very open, and I said what I felt at that moment to
Yeah.
him. And he was also like counter questioning my HR questions. Oh, do you think so? But I say, okay, this is what I think, and I
Hmm.
stand for it. So it was like this. So it went well. Again, I asked him,
Hmm.
like, what is your feedback for me? It was positive, but as I said, I was not very confident, because you see you. There is not always like how
Hmm.
you perform that
Yeah.
matters. So I was not very confident. So, but again, it went well. So after some days, I will say like I think after 10 days, I got the call from the HR. She told, okay,
Yeah.
Shika, you are selected for the last round, and again, it's going to be technical.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, okay. So I was preparing. Again, the instruction was the same. Like
Hmm.
you can expect anything, and you just need to learn, go through your resume, whatever you have
Hmm.
written, you mentioned it. You can expect it. So that's what I was doing. I started doing it everything again. React, especially Monstack, all of my projects, internship. I started to go over it, and I remember that day very clearly because it was scheduled for 6:30
Hmm.
at night. So it was scheduled for an hour,
Hmm.
and it started late already. It's been half hour, and
Hmm.
I was there in the meeting. I was really nervous. What's going to happen? I was about to call HR, then my interview came. And, okay, so that is okay. But as soon as the interview started,
Hmm.
he started with some React questions. Okay, he tried to understand how deeply I understand what
Hmm.
React's actually doing. Then moved toward uh, he moved toward what do you say, networking. He moved
Hmm.
toward networking. He asked me question about UDP
Oh.
and
Yeah.
sockets, and then he moved toward encryption algorithms
Hmm.
out of nowhere. So it
Yeah.
was kind of a shock for me, but I cannot say that I don't know.
Hmm.
Okay, at the same time, I believe that he clearly, there was nowhere mentioned in my resume,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe he put that forward because he wanted to see my approach
Mm-hmm.
over it. He was helping me continuously, but he was expecting the answer from my side
Mm-hmm.
only. So then he moved, and it was already an hour and a half an hour passed. And he said, okay, at that moment, he asked me, what are your favorite subjects in college?
Yeah.
And then I realized, okay, now I need to answer this question very seriously.
Carefully.
You
Yeah.
you are the one who drives your interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like any other person, I'll say mathematics and DBMS.
Yeah.
So in mathematics, I knew what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me a question of probability. Okay. So okay, we solved that. After that, he came to DBMS and a question over an hereditary, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
basic of
Yeah.
DBMS. So the discussion, that the interview was so long, and the discussion stretched to over like 2.5 hours, and
Damn.
it was already
Hmm.
9 o'clock. So I was so tired. You can see
Hmm.
that on my face that I was exhausted. But I went, like, I stand strong. I was like, I tried
Hmm.
to figure out things as much as I can. Whatever he's saying, I tried to think through it as much as I can. And at the end, it was ended. And I've never found myself so relieved after the end of any interview. It was so long. And it went well. For me, it was like mixed feeling because it went so long and he was
Hmm.
continuously grinding me on different topics. Like his counter questions are already ready me before answering it.
Hmm.
Anything. So it was a very grilled session. And at the end I asked for my feedback, like I do. So it was also positive,
Hmm.
to my surprise, because but yes, but yeah, it ended. And the very next day, like I was just sitting on a chair, and the very next day, I got the
Hmm.
call from the HR. Okay, Rashika, you have cleared the RAS round, and now we are offering you the SD role.
Hmm.
So that moment, I was really happy. So, like, it was a very long process, if you see.
Yeah. 15 days, 20 days. Too
Correct. It took
long.
months.
Yeah.
And it all, like, at the end, I was like, okay, you give your best, and
Hmm.
now you don't know what's going to happen. So I was not expecting them offering me the offer, but it's
Hmm.
like, okay, you've done your part. And but I'll say, like, at that time, yeah, I've been continuously applying for other companies. I have already have my interview schedules and everything.
Hmm.
So I was very happy. But yeah, I'll say it went well. It was long, but it's all worth it at the end.
Right, right, right. So, like, to the people who are watching this video, this interview experience with you, and people suppose who are applying for a like company like JustPay, what advice would you give to those students who are watching? What can they do to become like you and crack those companies?
There are two things I will say.
Mm-hmm.
First is the preparation, and the second is also the interview,
Yeah.
the main thing. So for students, I will say they need to really go through their basic subjects, the core
Mm.
fundamental computer subjects.
CS
Those are really
fundamentals.
very important,
Mm.
and that just not going to be in your interview, but wherever you go, in your
Mm-hmm.
job, in your internship, in your project, you're going to find the use. Especially, you will say the design subject.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. So
Mm.
for student, I will say just get those like have a really good grasp over those subjects, especially DSA, DBMS, OOPS. And whenever you prepare for any company, be specific about that company,
Mm.
because I
That's
have
very
been
important.
in multiple interviews, and I've seen that few of my interviews totally over DSA, and
Mm.
few were totally on my internships and projects. So it's really important to be specific about that company and job requirements, and
Correct.
to really prepare smartly,
Mm-hmm.
because that can help you a lot. And secondly, talking about what you need to do in interview, personally, what I do is that be very, like, try to communicate with your interviewer as much as you can,
Mm.
because a stranger is coming to judge you on the basis of those 15 and 20 or
Mm.
an hour,
Yeah.
uh, how much you have prepared. So you need to tell them whatever is going on in their mind. So just
Mm.
tell them whatever you're thinking, not just the answer. That's what I always say to
Mm.
people, because how you're thinking is very different from how other person is thinking, and that
Yeah.
makes you different. So you just
Correct.
need to tell him whatever you're doing. That is a key, because I believe if that person is coming to take your interview, it's there to understand you, and he's or she is definitely going to help you. All
Mm-hmm.
you just need to do is to proactively communicate with him or her. And at the end, I will say it's never always how you perform matters, because obviously there is so many things
Factors,
that,
yeah.
yeah, there are so many factors that can affect you getting an offer or not. But all I'll say is that what I personally believe is that we need to do what we can best, and there is
Mm-hmm.
definitely what we will get what we deserve. So that's all.
The best thing we can do is just perform the best in the interview, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that covers pretty much everything about Just Pay's interview experience. Thanks a lot, Rashika, for coming on my channel. And I think we'll have another video with Rashika coming about how to crack React interviews because she's pretty good at React.js. So stay tuned for that, guys. And again, thanks a lot, Rashika. I hope this video will help a lot of students.
Thank you so much.